Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. This is something a little different that I'm doing for NaPodPoMo, I suppose, National November Podcasting Month. I know NaNoWriMo is like National November or National Novel Writing Month, whatever. And they say, oh, do a podcast every day in the month of November. Something short, sweet, etc. So I don't want to clog up the RSS feed. So I said, oh, I'll do something on YouTube instead. And so this is going to be raw, unedited, unfiltered, just sort of stream of consciousness thinking. So I'm starting today with depression and anxiety and ADHD and all that sort of fun stuff that I have talked about on the show, but I haven't really gotten into too much on account of it's not really the venue for it, for me to talk about myself. Not that this necessarily is either, but I just kind of feel like I have these thoughts in my head and I need to get them out somewhere, and maybe just putting them out loud on video in some fashion will help me feel a little bit better and help me process them. So as many of you may be aware, I referenced it in the Discord and in the Facebook group. I'm starting therapy officially, formally, later this month is my first session, and I'm very much looking forward to it because it's been a long time coming, frankly, and it's been something that I've needed for quite some time. And it's, it's one of those things that, like, as soon as I signed up for it and I was like, okay, I have my date, it's later this month, I'm going to be doing distance virtual sessions with a licensed therapist. Like, that's when all of a sudden, like, the brain weasels really started to just like start screaming at me. It's rough, and I just found myself at like 3:30 this morning laying awake in bed trying to fall back to sleep and not having an easy time of things. And it was very difficult for me to sort of just process what's going on. And I'm trying to calm my brain down and do all these things. And when I rock my son to sleep at night, I do this thing to calm him down, and I go, like, I start at his toes and I say, we're going to rest your toes, and we're going to rest your feet, and we're going to rest your ankles, and I like work my way up to the top of his head. And then by the time I get to the top of his head, he's usually like pretty calm and he's sleepy, so I can put him in his crib and he finishes falling asleep on his own. Well, I tried doing that with myself. I was like, well, it works for my son, why not have it work for me? Because I used to be able to do that. And just like every 1.3 seconds, like I would be like, and I have to rest my toes. What about this? And all right, and it's time to rest my feet. Oh, the song is popping in my head, and all this other stuff is going on, and it was just very jarring. I've had issues with being able to maintain a consistent logical train of thought for some time now. I've sort of, felt that I have undiagnosed ADHD, and but it hasn't been this bad in a very long time, and it's rough, and I'm talking to my family about things, and they're saying, oh, well, it's glad that, we're glad that you finally realized this and everything. We've noticed you've been a shell of a person for a while. And it's like, thanks. That's not what I was going for. I'm glad you acknowledged I was not myself for a while. But that's not really the super supportive thing to say. And so I just, I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of being numb. Um, it's rough because I love the show. I love doing the show, and I love um, helping people. And it's the kind of thing that I talk all the time about the importance of being honest with yourself and self-awareness and such, and getting help and getting therapy and such. And it's high time I took my own advice. So this is all sort of very disjointed. But the takeaway from this is that every day in the month of November, I'm going to take 5 to 10 minutes to just sort of post on here about what's going on, how my day has been. And, once I start therapy, it'll be an explanation of what I went through, and a catharsis of sorts to, help me process my thoughts and help me figure out all the stuff going on inside my head, because I have so many things going on up here, and so many thoughts. And if I could just corral them into something like steady and straightforward, I think I would be so much happier. But I'm tired of being numb, and I don't want to put it on my son and my wife to have them be the only things that like really make me happy, because I can't not be happy when I look at my kid and when I play with him. And that's how I know that I'm not like too far gone. I hate to even use that expression, but you know what I mean. And so that's how I know that like I'm in a place where I can get the help before it gets worse. And just to put everybody's minds at ease, like I'm not suicidal. I'm not idealizing any of that. There's none of that. None of those thoughts have crossed my mind. It's just a general feeling of like being in neutral. And I'm sitting in a car waiting for, like I'm sitting in the passenger seat at this point in my own brain, waiting for someone to start the car so we can go somewhere, instead of just like coasting along or just sort of like rolling or coming to a dead stop. I don't know. The metaphor was shit. I'm sorry for that. Again, it's difficult for me at times to come up with something coherent. So, and the other thing I want to say, to family, to friends, to anybody that has noticed that I've been not myself lately, I'm sorry. And if I hurt you, or if I did something that may be selfish or considered selfish, and you're wondering whether or not I was thinking about how it would impact you, I probably wasn't, and for that I am sorry. But I barely have the energy to figure out how things are going to impact me on a given day. And so it's not coming from a place of selfishness so much as self-preservation, that I do not possess the wherewithal to think more than like what is immediately in front of me. And for somebody like me who has been a planner and a forethinker my entire life, the inability to do that is grating. And it sucks. It sucks to not have the energy to plan ahead, to just wake up every day and go, okay, what's today going to be like? I don't know. Um, and I know part of that is me having to relinquish control over the things over which I have no control, because I do have a tendency to be a bit of a control freak. Um, so this is like a wake up call for me. Like, hey, um, you can't, you don't have strings over everything. Um, and but in the meantime, I know that I've upset people. I know I've hurt people, and I know I haven't been the best friend in the world, the best family member, brother, son, cousin, what have you. Um, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I hurt you. I'm sorry if I upset you. Um, because I know that's not me. That's not who I want to be. Um, I wondered if I was going to get emotional on camera. I would have bet money on it. Um, but in any case, I'm sorry, and I'm trying. I am making an effort to get back to the person that I want to be, the person that I need to be. Um, and so this video journey is a sort of diary of sorts. And I hope that I hope this does something. I hope if nothing else, you watch it and um, you learn something from. I don't know. I don't know what you can learn from it. I don't know what I'm going to learn from it. Um, but I just kind of feel the need to get this out there and be raw about it. So I'm at like 12 minutes and I rambled on long enough. So I guess I'll see some of you later tonight when we record our 2 episodes on Two-Face and Tim Drake. Credit goes to Doc for writing all of Two-Face and half of Tim Drake. I started it and I tried. I honestly did. I had all these ideas about where I wanted it to go, and I was just like, I can't. I don't have enough brain power to formulate from A to B without getting derailed every 5 seconds. It's like, okay, I wrote a line. All right, now I need to go distract myself because that was like, it took so much for me to write that one line. Like that's where I am mentally right now. Is I needed the break just from doing something as simple as that. So this is why I'm going to therapy. This is why I need therapy. So I don't know, I'm going to stop this now. I guess I'll see some of you later tonight, and I'll see anybody else tomorrow when I post another video. So thank you, and good night.